The Whipping Boy by Sid Fleischman, Chapter 5. Hold Your Nose, Billy, and Cutwater. Billy pulled Prince Brat from the saddle and threw him into Jemmy. Raising the lantern, the man held it close enough that Jemmy could feel the heat of the flame. Billy was a big man, he saw, big and raw as a skinned ox, and he smelled like a ton of garlic. "Not much of a catch, 2 sparrows," said Billy. "But ain't they trimmed up in fancy rags, Cutwater?" "Ain't they?" echoed the rattle-boned man. "Got any gold in your pockets, lads?" "No business of yours," snapped the prince. "Ah, but so help me, it is my business," Billy said with a thunderclap of laughter. "Don't you know who I am?" "A clod and a ruffian," declared the prince. "Worse than that," corrected the big man. "Ain't you never heard of Hold Your Nose, Billy?" "Famous he is," put in Cutwater. "Put to song is Billy." Jemmy thought he remembered. Hadn't he heard ballad sellers fling that name about the streets? The exploits of Hold Your Nose something or other in verses by the yard? "The highwaymen are you?" "The same." "The murderer?" "Only in the line of duty," Hold Your Nose Billy chuckled. "So you won't mind if we take your horse and empty your pockets?" "Not a copper between us," said Jemmy. A prince didn't carry money, for he had no use for it, and Jemmy's accounts were kept on the books. "What's in the basket?" piped up Cutwater. "Hands off, villain," snapped Prince Brat. "Don't you know who I am?" Jemmy gave the prince a sudden jab of his elbow to keep his mouth shut. "Not a word!" But the heir to the throne raised himself to his full height. "Bow to your prince." Fog swirled around the lantern. "Bow to what?" asked Cutwater. "I am Prince Horace." "And I'm the Grand Turnip of China," Cutwater snickered. "Dim-witted villains," shouted the prince. "I command you to turn us loose, or Papa will hang the pair of you in chains." "Hold your trap," Jemmy thought. "Don't you have a thimbleful of brains? A prince would make a fine catch for these rogues." "Me friend Muddle-headed," he declared. "His paw's nothing but a rat-catcher, but don't he put on airs, though." "Got enough lip for 2 sets of teeth," chortled the big highwayman. "Cutwater, take the lantern and fetch the horse." "What do you reckon's in the basket, Billy?" "Plenty of time to find out." The lantern floated off. The evil-smelling Billy clutched each boy hard by the ear. "Stir your legs, walk, and don't let me catch you on your turf again. Do I make myself clear?" "Clear as window glass," said Jemmy with a sigh of relief. "If you'd be kind enough to point us toward the river, I'd be ever so much obliged." "Billy," came a shout from Cutwater. "They ain't just common sparrows. Have a look at their saddle." Hold Your Nose Billy hung on to the boy's ears. At the horse's side, Cutwater was holding the lantern close to the saddle. "Skin me alive," declared the big man in awe. "That's the king's own crest." "We stole it, horse and saddle," Jemmy put in desperately. "Bosh," retorted Prince Brat scornfully. "Didn't I tell you who I was? Bow low, you fools, and be off." But the 2 men neither bowed nor fled. Hold Your Nose Billy threw a bushy-eyed glance at his fellow outlaw. "Cutwater, what do you reckon a genuine prince on the hoof is worth?" "His weight in gold at least, Billy."